Best Plan Pro 2.0 is an additional theme for Best Plan Pro. Now what that means is if you're used to a different version of Best Plan Pro, those are not going away. My name is Zach Bornheimer. I created Best Plan Pro, and I'm happy to walk you through this today. Let's get started with products. Go to Settings, Set Available Products. As you can see, I have all of the products integrated into one list that's searchable. So if I was looking for GTL, I can see final expense and term. Or if I was looking for the new SBLI product, I can see the new final expense SBLI product along with another company name for it, all at once. You can also filter products by the product type. And we're constantly adding new products. You also have the ability to use competitive analysis mode. You might be familiar with that from previous versions of Best Plan Pro. And all you need to do is click this button. And what it will do is show you the difference between the products you have checked and the ones you don't. So for example, let's have all of the A's unchecked. The beauty of this list is now if we add a new term product or a new med sup product or a new final expense product or a new pre-need product or something else altogether, it's going to be in this list. And you'll be able to see it a lot easier. And the beauty of Best Plan Pro is it cross quotes. So every time you run a quote, it quotes every possible product type, assuming you want it to do that. You can change what runs on every quote individually while still having every product you're appointed with checked in Best Plan Pro. Under client coverage, you'll see this area where you have FEX, term, pre-need, med sup. This reflects the product types that I have checked in my products menu. So if I go, for example, to pre-need and I uncheck this plan, that checkbox is gone. So as we add more product types, more checkboxes will appear. So let's start with the simple, your client's date of birth. Most clients don't forget their date of birth. They may forget their age. But, for example, you're reading a lead form, you're doing a preemptive quote in order to get a ballpark idea of what your client's rates are going to be or what their availability is going to be. Just click on Enter Age and you can actually enter their age. Their height, their weight, self-explanatory here. Type in the numbers. I'll enter in a weight. Let's say male. And now nicotine usage. We all know that on a per carrier basis, the definition of nicotine changes. So you can select the most appropriate option for nicotine usage, or if they have smoked in the past 12 months, click on that option and be able to narrow it down even further to get a proper nicotine quote. Now onto client coverage information. Check the product types you want. If I uncheck MedSup, you'll see that the zip code and open enrollment disappear. I can also uncheck pre-need. Let's just do final expense and term for right now. Under state, enter in the state that the client is applying for coverage in. So that could be Texas, TEX. You can enter in that and use your autocomplete arrow keys. You can click on it, whatever you'd like. You can also enter in NC for North Carolina, any which way you'd like to enter it. And now we're on to the money stuff. Face value, which is when you know the death benefit, and monthly budget when you don't, but you know how much your client can afford. You can enter in multiple budgets, multiple face amounts, all in a similar way as with Best Plan Pro in the past. So let me show you that. Click on Max Monthly Budget, and let's do $35. I'm going to hit Enter. And now I have another quote come up. $50, let's say $75. I don't have to click the plus button. I can, I don't have to. And now, this will run a quote. Great, so we have our results. As you can see, I have all of these different options, and I see the logos for each one. Now, as I scroll through, you'll notice that some of them are a little bit darker, and the logos are in grayscale. They're all black and white. As you may remember, we had all of our products with A's marked as no-goes for us, not appointed. A couple things I want to show you here. If there's an e-app, there's a link to access the e-app. If you click on View Details, Plan Info comes up. And what this is all the information you might need to make a decision. So you can see this is the amount of death benefit you can get for $35 a month with Senior Life, for example, for Ultimate Preferred. So I want to just show you a couple things. First is you have all of these results here, and you have them on a page system. So you can click how many results you want to see per page. Let's say we want to see 20. It'll scroll back to the top. As you can see, some of these look a little different. This one, for example, Antex here, has a darker background. The buttons are a little bit faded out, and it has this competitor little icon here. That's because you're not appointed to sell it, but at least you now know what your competitors can offer. So if you use this as a research tool, let's say we're seeing around $9,000 to $10,000 for $35 a month. At 50, we're seeing about 12 to 15. 75, we're seeing about 20,000. So now with that information, let's look at term. It's about 300,000, 100,000. So we're seeing very different options. Here's a 10-year, 15-year. So we're seeing a lot of different variants here. So let's say, let's go back here, and now let's just change to face value. And now let's say we're looking for 10K. You can type the letter K. You can also use M for million, by the way. So if I wanted 1 million, I can do that. And if I wanted 50,000, I can do that. And I can run this quote, and you'll notice that this now says it's outdated. So let me get an updated quote. And just like that, I have quotes for 10, 50, and 1 million. You can also show the ineligible options, and if you click on View Details, you usually can see why it was excluded. So in here, let's say you're going to apply for 10,000. You click on Family Benefit. Click on View Details. You can choose Simplified Issue, which is what we expect, or you can also look at the graded pricing, so you're not ever caught off guard. Now you need the phone number to call them. We'll just scroll down. There it is right there. There's the underwriting assessment number and the hours. We have all of this information about the carrier and about this product. Now let's go over 3 ways of dealing with health in Best Plan Pro, but also underwriting as a whole. So for example, if you want to deal with someone's family history, and you want to say that they had a family member die of cancer, go into the health and underwriting profile and type in family history. And you're going to notice that the software automatically tries to complete your query. If you're not sure what the correct answer is supposed to be, click Show Search Results. And you'll see all of our search options here. So let's see, cancer, death before age 60, diagnosed before age 60. Death would be the more appropriate option, so we'll click that one. And as you notice, everything just changed here. More options are available. And you can see immediate family, breast cancer, death before age 60. Let's say it was ovarian cancer. So all we have to do is click on it, and as you can see, it went to the top. Other options are here. Nothing more specific. Remember, Best Plan Pro gets better the more accurate and complete you are. So now we go, say this is a current, lifelong, or permanent condition. Yeah, it's permanent that your family history includes someone who died of ovarian cancer before 60. This is not applicable, so what we do is we leave it blank, and we click Save and Close. And now that's in Best Plan Pro. Now what about health, right? So let's talk about medications, because I think that's the easiest. If you've used Best Plan Pro before, this will be very familiar. Enter in the name of the medication. The nice part is Best Plan Pro will automatically correct for typos. If I type in Xarelto with a Z, for example, it'll automatically change it to an X and identify that it's a medication. What's it prescribed to treat? If you're not exactly sure and your client doesn't really remember, click on See Related Impairments, and this might help jog their memory. Let's say it's for thrombosis. Is it ongoing? Yes. And now we have date options here for the first fill. If we said no, we'd also have an option for the most recent fill. So now we have 2 options for dates. We have a general date, which we'd put in like 7 years ago. You can also enter a specific date. And what you do is you just type it. So if I said 5/7/1975, that also is valid. You can then optionally enter in the daily dosage. This is great for record keeping. Save and close. So we've added a condition without any medications, of course, just like a family history thing. We've added a medication, and we can see that it automatically added the condition and also tells you what medication is being used for this condition. If you have more than one option here, you can also change the way it sorts. And that's up to you. That's a personal choice. Let's do a more intricate example. Your client has COPD. The last time they were treated was 7 years ago. They're on Advair, albuterol, and Symbicort, and one other medication that starts with a G. But they stopped Symbicort a year ago. This is how you'd enter that. You use the quick add meds. It's a quick way of adding multiple medications to the system here that match all of this information. So it's assuming that someone was prescribed all of these medications at the onset of the condition. And then you can override that here. So you can see here how this says 7 years ago. If I change this to 9 years ago, these will all close. And I can now change this and you'll see that it says 9. If it's ongoing, you can see that it's automatically checked for me, and it's all going to match. You can also click Add Another Medication. You can also just put your cursor in there or hit the plus button. You don't have to hit the plus button. And you can click Save and Add, Save and Close, whatever you'd like. Let's do Save and Add. And now let's enter in insulin. As soon as I type insulin, it automatically changed the form in the background. That's because it automatically detected that it's a medication. Let's say it's this one. I can see the related impairments if I'd like, or I can type in an off-label use. Let's say this is preventative for diabetes. So I'd put in diabetes, controlled, maybe ongoing, yes, 7 years ago. Or let's say, not ongoing. This was stopped a year ago. And most recent fill was 5 years ago. Let's click Save and Close. But let's delete diabetes. Let's say it was prophylactic, meaning that it was used to prevent diabetes. So they took it for diabetes, but they didn't actually have diabetes. That's how you'd handle that particular scenario. And then all you would do is click Run Quote. And it's going to run based off all of this health information. I have it re-enabled for MedSup and Pre-Need. And now we can see the actual options that would come up for this case. And you can see the ones that are grayed out are the competitors. And what we can do is we can actually sort by different options here. If I turn off ineligible options, you can see there are no MedSup options that work because I don't have all the MedSup information. It's also likely the age is a problem. You can see Pre-Need options, one-time payment. I can sort it by type. I can sort it by coverage amount. I have all of the different options in front of me. What we've tried to do is make it so that way anytime something comes up where you need to override the software, it's simple. So to show you that, I want to show you what it looks like to enter in a medication that the system has never seen before. And I encourage you to do that because the system actually learns these new medications and conditions as they're used and run through the system. So I'm going to add a medication, let's call it custom. It's never been seen before, so I have to tell Best Plan Pro what this is. Everything else continues normally. I am going to also say it's used for an arrhythmia. Say it's ongoing. 3 months ago is the first fill. Save and add. And now I want to show you how you'd enter an off-label use. So let's say we have albuterol for a heart attack. Say albuterol, and we just say heart attack. You don't have to go off the related impairments. You don't have to go off the normal impairments. Best Plan Pro will figure everything out. You can edit and delete medications by using the pencil and trash can icons, respectively, that are located near that item. So if you want to delete a condition, just click the little trash can. If you want to edit a condition, click the little pencil. I hope this overview of Best Plan Pro has sparked your interest. We didn't go over today some of the metrics like 15% improvement of placement across the board on an agency-wide scale, 25% decrease in GI business in exchange for level. And we skipped over certain features including saving and loading in cases in different formats, being able to share your actual case results with someone, being able to set your state by default, so if you're going face-to-face, you don't have to fill that out every time, being able to switch between different versions of Best Plan Pro, being able to customize and white label Best Plan Pro, We didn't go over the auto backup plugins or any of the saving and loading of preferences. Each theme of Best Plan Pro, including Windows Edition, Classic, Modern, and 2.0, give you access to the same underwriting engine, core technology, and databases, so you can rest assured that no matter which theme you're using, you'll get the same results. It's our way of making sure that you find a way of utilizing our software that works best for you through one of these themes. To learn more or get started with Best Plan Pro, visit bestplanpro.com.